Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's the Madden with the Legend Beast of 16 here, and today we have the playoff promo. Finally, it's here, it's arrived, and I'm going to be walking you guys through it, teaching you guys how to get the Masters cheap and easy and relatively efficient. It's actually not a bad promo. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, but as you see here, we have Legend of the Playoffs champ Bailey, and all you need to get him are three regular AFC Masters, and then you get three of them back at Nat Fantasy at that. Therefore, all of these prices should be the same. Like, Gilmore is going for more than, Travis Kelce, but you get three of them back as Nat in a fantasy pack. So there's a lot of rhyming going on, and it's actually, disturbing me. But nonetheless, so that being said, don't overpay. Just buy the cheapest one possible if you're going to use coins for this. But you don't even really need to use coins. As you see in the top right-hand corner of the screen, I have a lot of training, and I'll get to that in a minute. But TO is the same thing. You only need 3 NFC Masters. So what I really plan to do is what I strongly recommend, if you don't need all of these players, because you might just be a fan of like one team, right? Or you might not be a fan of any of them. You might not want any of these players. You just want TO. So one thing you could theoretically do, and check the price before you do it, is you can quick sell all of them, build one master, and then build the other. If you know what I'm saying, like you build like T.O. and then quick sell Marshawn and Drew Brees if you don't need them, if you only want Brandon Brooks, and then go build the AFC Master and then quick sell those, and then if whatever training you have, just use that to get your coin back. That's essentially what you want to do. So with that being said, it's really up to you how you want to do this. Maybe you don't want, all of the 95s, or maybe you do want all of the 95s. Maybe, you just have ample, coin or training like that. Whatever you decide to do, it's up to you. I recommend selling as soon as possible. But, by the time I'm making this video, prices should have already, stabilized. It should be like really, really low because of what I'm about to tell you. And of course, there's the exchange sets. I mean, if you're a fan of these, then go ahead. I think they're booty, but to each their own, right? I don't really like relying on luck for things, but everybody's different, right? So how do we get these masters? What's the best way to get them, right? So as I get this reward, the reason why I have a whole bunch of training is because I figured there's going to be like some type of exchange or reroll set, using training just like how Ultimate Freeze was. But instead, they just said straight up, take the hero, dog, right? You spend 26,500 training for a random 95 hero. So what does that mean? It only costs 79,500 training for TO or champ. Now, by no stretch of the imagination, is that a low amount of training? But I am saying that it's training, and training was cheap, right? So hopefully you guys were stocking up on training and players for, for something like this, right? Because now EA has said, okay, we let training, fall under the radar long enough. Now it's time to stabilize the market. So if you want both TO and champ, you're going to need 159,000 training. Now you can do the 83 overall play. I don't know if it gets to 95. I highly doubt it. But again, I don't really like building sets in the playoffs because, you don't get the cards back, and then they're also kind of booty, a lot of the playoff sub cards. But what does this mean, right? What are the prices of these cards, and what can we do? Well, for starters, I think I was trying to look for TO at this point in the video, but I couldn't find them because there was a glitch with the set that you're gonna see in a minute. But he was 850,000 when I checked, which is about the price that that's about breaking even. I don't think you're gonna really make profit now that I do the math, which is fine because you have to remember how much training is 25,000 or 26,500. So I think training was at like 11 per point. So you just multiply that by the 79,000, and you're gonna be sitting around 800 something thousand, right? So yeah, 874,000. So if you're confused on how I did that math, I took the amount of training you need and I multiplied it by training per coin, which is 11 to 1 on a good day, and then that gave me 874,000. So with that being said, you see I'm just re-rolling, I'm just rolling for whatever player because it really doesn't matter what you get. You just need 3 of one conference. That's all you really need. And then if you truly want, their quick sell values aren't really bad, so you can re-roll if you just want one conference or the other. It's not going to cost you that much to re-roll. It's actually really, really inexpensive, and I strongly recommend that you do it because these sets are, not gonna lie, they're actually pretty darn easy. Hopefully there's more content, but I'm not too upset with this, right? So as you see here, 3 Schmackaroos, 3 Drew Breeses, And then we put them into the set, and voila, I do not get my TO because there's a glitch. So I back out, and he's still not there, and I'm worried. Well, I'm not worried because I have it on video, so I was kind of hoping for a make right, but you know, see, because it says it's in the unopened pack, but EA can just, they're just something, right? They're really just something this year. But regardless, you just back out, and I went back in, and as you see here, through the power of editing and magic, we have both Owens in the power up, and then we have the Nat NFL Fantasy Hero. So obviously from this one you get, you know, the power up, which is basically useless because, you know, that's not the most important, you know, part, but you get TO, right? And that's what matters. You get TO, and he looks like an absolute stud. And then Champ Bailey looks like a stud too, I'm gonna be honest. I was looking for a Dion number 2, but from this pack, which is what I was talking about earlier, just in case you wanted to see a visual of that, you get a fantasy pack of 3 conference players. So, you know, if you do the NFC, obviously you're going to get a choice of, you know, 3 of the 6. So, you know, I only want Brandon Brooks. But Neil Hunter looks pretty good. And then I guess, you know, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Marshawn doesn't have a power up, but, you know, he's probably going to get one. So, and it's probably going to be a lot of training to power him up as well. So, you know, let's say you don't want Marshawn, right? Because I'm pretty stacked at running back, right? You can just quick sell Marshawn, which, you know, is going to be half training, which is still a decent amount, like 12,000 training. That's something, right? So, you know, you can quick sell them, and then you can take the rest of your training and then try to go re-roll for, you know, the AFC Master, which is, or the other Master, which could be Champ Bailey or TO or whatever you want to do with it. Or if you truly want it, the best way to do things is to use that training and convert it to coins by selling the players, right? Because if you have a whole bunch of training and you're not interested in any of the players, then the best thing that you can do right now is sell everything, right? So that being said, you know, TO, his price is plummeting, I'm sure. I don't know where it's going to end up at because a lot of people are doing these sets. So we'll see if the market stabilizes itself. You know, the market is a very fickle place. But last but not least, before we end this video, we can just go through all of the playoff players because I know a lot of, you know, theme teamers are, you know, just homers of their teams. They kind of want to know what's in, you know, their teams, you know, not master, but you guys know the other guys, right? You guys want to know the pieces, the set pieces to the master, right? Because things have to be complicated. So they range from 93 to 87, I believe. Or maybe 85, I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure it's 87 to 93. But they don't show the overalls, but just know that the first piece is 93 and then it works itself in the order, you know, in descending order, so there's that. But I don't think there's too many, you know, complaints about these. I mean, you know, we can always use, you know, upgrades to, you know, lesser known or lesser cards and whatnot. Like, yeah, sure, it'd be great to have like a 95 or 99 at every single position, but, you know, theme teams, right? I don't run a theme team, but, you know, it looks glitchy from what I know. So, you know, those are the AFC players. And then, of course, you know, we got to go to the NFC players. As far as, you know, what's happening with Rodgers and, you know, all of them, I'm sure Rodgers is definitely getting an upgrade, like, pronto. So, you know, don't worry. Wilson is probably going to be team of the year. Lamar's going to be MVP. Like, you know, don't forget, they still got team of the year they got to do, and then there's still, like, you know, a whole bunch of other awards and honors that people have. Like, we're pretty much all in agreement that Lamar is the MVP, right? So, again, here's the Saints, and then last but not least, or no, we got the Vikings, and then last but not least, the team that struggled to make it in, but we're still in it, baby. We got the Eagles, and of course, they gave us a slow Malcolm Jenkins at 86 speed. Like, I just hate, like, they act like this man wasn't fast before, right? It's crazy. But oh, and then there's also challenges that you can do that give you a Nat 89. Don't know how long the challenges are. Don't really plan to do them, but, you know, if you're a grinder, you got to get that Nat 89, you know, to make things cheaper on yourself. Then by all means, I think they're moments. So if they're all moments, maybe it's not a bad deal. But, you know, they always try to make something extra long towards the end. So if they do that, then, you know, I'm out, you know, just whatever. But that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. Found it helpful. Dislike if you did not. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.